Hello everybody, good afternoon. Today we are going to talk about very advanced grammar and the topic of the day is inversions. So what are inversions? Inversions are ways of emphasizing an event because it's either new, rare, unexpected, sudden, or even impossible. Okay? There are two basic types of inversions: negative inversions and restrictive adverbials. So those are the two types we're going to see in this class, alright? So, let's start. First one, not a penny. Just before I start, I want to remind you that usually when we invert a sentence, you have to invert the auxiliary verb and the subject, alright? So, not a penny would they give to charity. In other words, they didn't help the charity. Not one bite did he eat. So he wasn't hungry. He didn't touch his food. Right? Not a single person did they meet that day. So they haven't met anybody. Alright? Now, at no time did we think the project would fail. So we had no expectations of failures. We thought it would be a success, but it wasn't. Okay? Never before have I felt so angry. It means that day was the day I felt the angriest. Alright? Now no longer. No longer can we ignore the problem. So it's impossible to continue ignoring that problem. We need to do something about that, alright? Not once. Not once did they go after any help. So they didn't even try to get help, alright? And the last one of this first list, never again. So never again will I intervene in their fight. Why is that? Because the last time I tried to intervene, something went wrong. It wasn't right, and I don't feel like trying to intervene again. If you guys could notice, I've always inverted the auxiliary verbs and the subjects. Now let's move to the second list. Too often and too long. So, too often do we see people struggling to make ends meet. In other words, if you see people struggling to make ends meet, they struggle to make enough money to survive or to feed their family. Okay? Too long. Too long have we waited for a change. So we have been waiting for things to change and they never change. It's disappointing. Alright? Now, there are some common combinations that we need to memorize for the TOEFL test, which are no sooner than, barely when, hardly then, scarcely then. Alright? So, no sooner had one game finished than another one was begun. So there was a sequence, one finished, and immediately the other one began. Alright? Barely had it got over the flu when we were struck down with a stomach bug. So again, a sequence of diseases happened, alright? Hardly had the policy been announced, then the government came up with a new and better idea. Another time we're using a sequence of events, alright? And scarcely comes from scarce, which means rare, right? Scarcely had we had time to meet the villagers, then we were hustled back onto the bus. In other words, we only spent little time with the villagers, and they asked us to get back to the bus. Alright? And to finish the class of the day, under no circumstances will I attempt that vestibular again. Because that was very difficult and I'm not ready for that. I don't feel like taking it again. And the last one, on no account. So I can give an example. On no account can drinks be taken outside. It means there is no way, it's forbidden to take drinks outside. There are more inversions than those ones I've just shown you, but I just wanted to make sure that these ones must be memorized for TOEFL, Cambridge, and IELTS international certifications. And the topic again is called inversions. So thank you so much for watching. I wish you a wonderful afternoon. Thank you so much. Goodbye. See you next time. Bye-bye.